Welcome in, spooks. Today's video is going to be just a collection of really great books that I want to share with you. So I love the subgenre of fantasy, I guess it is, witchy books. I love anything witchy related. It can be non-fiction, it can be historical, it can be romance, as long as there's witches and there's magic in it. So I wanted to give you my curated list of all my favourite witchy books as a recommendation, separated by sub-subgenre. So I assume all witchy books come under fantasy, that's the genre. Subgenre witchy books, sub-sub. I'm gonna sub-sub this for you, okay? Let me gather the books up. First of all, this is not an exhaustive list. There are so many others that I thought about adding to the list but didn't quite make the cut because I wanted to differentiate between subgenres, sub-subgenres. And also, there are still many that I haven't read yet. So this list could grow. I could do a second list next year and they could be all different books. The honourable mentions of books that I haven't read yet but want to are Slewfoot by Bron, The Woodsmoke Women's Book of Spells, Impractical Magic by Emily Grimoire, The Unfortunate Side Effects of Heartbreaker Magic. These are quite light ones, but still very interested. I don't think Slewfoot is going to be light. That will do, otherwise I'll go on forever. So there is also one book I have on this list that I don't own because I listened to the audiobook. So it's not on stack. I forgot about this one. I assume this is signed. This is signed. I'll start with this one. If you are looking for funny, light-hearted witchiness with a young main character, also local to me, I would recommend The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches by Sangu Mandana. I met this author and she was possibly the loveliest author I've ever met. She drew me a little hat. I'm not going to summarise for you because the publisher can do it better than I can. As one of the few witches in Britain, Mika Moon has lived her life by 3 rules. Hide your magic, keep your head down, and stay away from other witches. Well, that's foreboding. An orphan raised by strangers from a young age, Mika is good at being alone and she doesn't mind it. Mostly. Me neither, Mika. But then an unexpected message arrives, begging her to travel to the remote and mysterious Nowhere House to teach 3 young witches, and Mika jumps at the chance for a different life. There is fan family, there is romance, there is coming of age, witchy goodness, discovering you're a witch. It is light, it will still make you tear up a little bit, it is really, really cute, and it's set in Norfolk. Kind of. I think they visit in Norwich at one point. I read this so long ago. Oh, I feel like I literally just saw the word Norwich. Oh, yeah, I did. The bookshop was in the very heart of Norwich. I'm pretty sure that is based on an actual bookshop that exists. I think it's based on the Book Hive, but don't hold me to that because I have not researched, so cannot confirm my suspicions. It's a great book. There is a sequel coming out this year. It's been postponed because Sangu had long COVID and the state of the world has been very heavy on her mental health. If you follow her on Instagram, you will see snippets of how she is feeling and how her second book is going. But it should be coming out, I think, in July. We're excited either way. On the flippity flip side, if you're looking for a slightly older MC, maybe more historical fantasy witchy, there is a bug in here. Don't circle me in my own house, sir. So a little bit more focused on the witch trials and a little more rooted in reality, then I would very much recommend this one, The Witching Tide by Margaret Mayer. I think this might be one of my favourite books of all time, let alone witchy books of all time. It is also local to me. It's set in East Anglia. That's where I live. East Anglia, 1645. Martha Hallibread, a midwife, healer and servant, has lived for more than 4 decades in her beloved coastal village of Cleftwater. I don't know if that's based on a real place or not. Oh, it's This is signed as well. This is dedicated for the women who fell victim to the 1645 to 1647 East Anglian witch hunts. In these pages you are remembered. That's very beautiful. I really thought there was a map. Oh, it came with a map. Where did I put that map? It came with a big map. I don't know where that is. Anyway, oh yeah. Everyone knows Martha, but no one has ever heard her speak. One autumn morning, the peaceful atmosphere of Cleftwater is shattered by a sinister arrival, and Martha becomes a silent witness to a witch hunt. As a trusted member of the community, she is enlisted to search the bodies of the accused women, so she is involved in the witch trials. But whilst Martha wants to help her friends, she also harbours a dark secret that could cost her own freedom. There's a mystery, it's witchy, it's historical. I love historical fantasy, and if it's historical fantasy with witches, oh my god, is that my sweet spot. Plus it's set in East Anglia, plus I have a special edition, plus it's an older main character. I love when we have an older main character, because I too am an old main character. Next up, if you're looking for something a little more aimed at new adult, perhaps it's not quite as sophisticated / grown up. Maybe sophisticated's mean. It's not unsophisticated, it's just an easy read, is what I would say. And that has a big mystery running through the heart of the story. I would recommend The Lighthouse Witches by C.J. Cook. I have read a few books now by this author, and I have a few more on my shelf behind me. I really like them, especially for their readability. So these are a very quick, easy read, so I very much recommend if you just want to get a little dose of witchy goodness amongst the mystery story. Let me read to you. A deserted lighthouse, a lost family, an impossible child. Upon the cliffs of a remote Scottish island stands a lighthouse. Strange and terrible events have happened here. It started with a witch hunt, as it always does, those bastards. Now centuries later, islanders are vanishing. Liv, Stay and her children don't believe in witches or curses. More fool you, Liv. But within months of arriving on the island, her daughter Luna is the only one of them left. 20 years later, Luna's missing sister turns up out of the blue. She is exactly the girl Luna remembers. Same face, same smile, same age. She went missing 20 years ago, but she's turned up the same age as when she went missing. This is making me want to reread this book. Faced with the impossible, it's up to Luna to find out what really happened at the lighthouse all those years ago. Very much recommend if you want a really good mystery. Next up, the book that I listened to via audiobook is Witches Get Stuff Done by Molly Harper. And if you want raunchy, fun, romance, a heavy dose of spice, a heavy dose of friendship, a heavy dose of fun, highly recommend this book by Molly Harper. I obviously don't have the blurb, so I will get you the blurb. I give a full service here. Witches Get Stuff Done. Witches Get Stitches? That's a different book. This is also a series. I think there's 3 in the series. I've read them all. Have I read them all? I think I've read them all. Let me tell you. There are 3 books in the series: Witches Get Stuff Done, Big Witch Energy, and Never Been Witched. The first one, in my opinion, was the best. Let me tell you about it. Reigning queen of paranormal romantic comedy, Molly Harper is back with the first book in a spellbinding new series. Riley always felt like something was missing in her life, and her numerous odd jobs and short-lived relationships haven't brought her any close to finding it. Everything changes when she receives a mysterious message. You're a Denton. You belong on Star 4 Point. Once you're here, I'll tell you everything you need to know. Mystery. When Riley arrives on the island, she learns her aunt has left her a historic mansion brimming with haunted antiques. Turns out, that's not the only thing she's inherited. Riley also hails from a long line of witches whose magic is critical to protect the living. She makes some friends, she falls in love, and it's cute and it's fun, and it's sexy. They do say the word nub at one point. It really hurt my feelings. I really couldn't leave this one out, but I have already tackled the historical fantasy side, but I wanted to do it again. Slightly younger main characters though, so maybe for the Witching Tide, if you just wanted historical fantasy with witches rooted in reality but younger characters, I would recommend The Witches of Varda by Anya Bergman. This one I raved about so much after I finished it. If you've been on my channel for a while, you will no doubt have heard me talk about this book, but let me tell you if you haven't. Norway, 1662. A dangerous time to be a woman. When isn't it a dangerous time to be a woman? Right? But specifically Norway, 1662, it was rough. When even dancing can lead to accusations of witchcraft. When recently widowed Sigrid embarks on a doomed affair with a local merchant, she is sent to the fortress at Varda to be tried as a witch. I love saying Varda. Sigrid's daughter Ingeborg sets off into the wilderness to rescue her mother. Accompanying her on this quest is Maren, whose wild nature and unconquerable spirit... Unconquerable? Is that a word? Inconquerable? No idea. Her unconquerable spirit gives Ingeborg the courage to risk all she has to save her family. Also captive in the fortress is Anna Rodius, once the King of Denmark's mistress, who has been sent in disgrace to the island of Varda. What will she do, and who will she betray, more importantly, to return to her privileged life at court? In an age weighted against them, these witches of Varda refuse to be victims. They will have justice. All they need to do is show their power. This is like the most feminist, witchy book I have read so far. It shows the undeniable power of women when they band together. They are a force to be reckoned with. So, historical fantasy with heavy dose of feminism, The Witches of Varda. Next up, my recommendation is again romance, a little less on the spice, but this, my friends, is queer as heck, and we are here for it on this channel. The book is Honey Witch by Sydney. I say Sydney S. Shields every single time I talk about this book. It is Sydney J. Shields, but my brain is like, your name alliterates, so it should alliterate the whole way through. Sydney J. Shields. First of all, it's super cute. I've seen one that has yellow sprayed edges, and I would love me some yellow sprayed edges, which feels kind of pointless because when it goes on the shelf, it goes on the shelf that way, you know? But anyway, irrelevant, it's really beautiful. It's just a very heartwarming, sweet tale. There's a curse that we're trying to break, so it's kind of star-crossed lovers, okay? There are star-crossed lovers trying to break a curse. It's very Romeo and Juliet, but it has a happier ending. The Honey Witch is cursed to never find true love. That them there is our curse. But when she meets a woman who doesn't believe in magic, she dares to hope for more. Women loving women. Witchy women loving women. Sydney, could you write a sequel, please? Would love a sequel. Actually, I'd love a sequel with The Brother. The Brother is so fun. Anyway, but hang on. Marigold Claude has always preferred the company of meadow spirits to the suitors who've tried to woo her. I want to befriend a meadow spirit. So when her grandmother whisks her away to the tiny isle of Innisfree with an offer to train her as the next Honey Witch, she accepts immediately. But her newfound magic and independence come with a price. No one can fall in love with the Honey Witch. That's so sad. When Lottie Burke, a notoriously grumpy skeptic... Septic? Septic? What did I say? Did I say skeptic? Okay, I was worried I said septic. I think I said skeptic. Christ. Also Grumpy Sunshine. Grumpy Sunshine. Queer Grumpy Sunshine. A queer Lorelei and Luke, you know? Anyway, Lottie doesn't believe in magic. She shows up at her doorstep. Marigold can't resist the challenge to prove to her that magic is real, even at the risk of losing her home and her heart. This is a debut. From debut author Sydney J. Shields comes an unmissable tale of sweet magic and love overcoming all. Oh, you're so stunning. In more ways than one. If you want queer romance with a heavy dose of magic, this is the one for you. It's also the one for me. I thought I wasn't recording for a second. I was about to lose my mind. Look at this sprayed edge. If you want a little bit of romance, but a heavy dose of female friendships, Rewitched by Lucy Jane Wood is the one for you. Again, we have a very sweet cover. I believe that Lucy was discovered on BookTok. I can back up BookTok on this one. This was very sweet. It wasn't my favourite one I've ever read, but I love the focus on friendship and that sort of love rather than a romance. There is a romance in it, but it feels very much like a subplot, and the female friendship is big plot. There is also trials that our main character has to go through to prove herself, and I do like that side of things. So let me read to you. Belle's powers weren't completely dormant, they were just a little sleepy. Belladonna Blackthorn, stunning by the way, hasn't lost her magical spark, but she hasn't seen it in a while either. It's also really funny. If this doesn't tell you it's really funny, it's really funny. Okay. Balancing work at her beloved London bookshop, we love to see it, Luna Books, with handling her toxic boss and concealing her witchcraft from those around her, Belle is burnt out, aren't we all, girl? Perfecting the potential of her magic is the last thing on her mind. It really should be, though. It should be on your mind. When her 30th birthday brings... She's a 30-year-old woman. When her 30th birthday brings a summons from her coven and a trial that tests her worthiness as a witch, Belle risks losing her magic forever. With only a month to fix things and a suspicion that dark forces may be working against her, Belle will need all the help she can get. From the women in her life, we love it, from an unlikely mentor figure, and even from an infuriating coven watchman who's sworn to protect her, ... That was very Mamma Mia coded, ... And I meant it that way. This is really cute. I believe that this is set throughout October, and honestly, if you haven't read this before, I would read it throughout October. I think it ends on Halloween. It's just really, really cute, and I love female friendships, so I would definitely recommend Rewitched. Last, but by absolute no means least, we have my favourite sub-genre, witchy horror. Now She's Witch by Kirsty Logan, fast becoming one of my favourite authors. This is, again, can we just have a moment for the cover? Glorious. This is a witch story unlike any other, and I agree. This is like if someone said, Jess, what kind of book would you love to read? I'm going to write it for you. And I said, I like witches, I like horror. And Kirsty said, don't stress, say less, I've got you. And she did have me. Lux has lost everything when Else finds her, alone in the woods. Her family, her lover, her home, all burned. The world is suspicious of women like her, but Lux is cunning. She knows how to blend into the background, and she knows a lot about poisons. Else needs Lux's help to destroy the man who wronged her. I fully support that. But on their hunt, they will uncover dark secrets that entangle them with dangerous adversaries. From the snowy winter woods to the bright midnight sun, from lost and powerless to finding your path, Now She Is Witch conjures a world where women grasp at power through witchcraft, sexuality and performance, and sometimes by throwing each other to the wolves. Did I mention it's gay? There are witchy women loving witchy women all up in this book, and it is spooky as heck. Hi. There she stood, between the fires, light and dark together in one woman, a woman neither one thing nor another. Fire inside and power in every word she spoke. No need for power over others, as she has power over herself. Read this one, please! That brings us to the end. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you have any recommendations of any kind of subgenre of witchy fantasy books, especially horror or historical fantasy, where it's focused on witch trials, please drop them in the comments down below. Otherwise, as I said, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, please consider liking and subscribing. I would be very grateful. If not, or if so, I'll catch you in a video very, very soon. Bye! Let me show you a place.